Wonder Bread. That's right, Wonder Bread. It's a staple on most grocery stores. Wonder Bread, Butternut, Wholesome, Rosen's, Toronto. We see it often. It's the plastic container with all the red and yellow and blue and green dots. But for many years, Wonder Bread was always advertised as saying, builds stronger bodies 12 ways. Wonder Bread. Perhaps truth in advertising, they really should say, a minute on the lips and a lifetime on the hips. Then Jesus said, I am the bread of life. Nelson Henderson wrote, if you're looking for a life without difficulty, remember that great oaks are made strong in contrary winds, and diamonds are made under pressure. If you're looking for a life without difficulty, remember that great oaks are made strong in contrary winds, and diamonds are made under pressure. That particular expression of Nelson Henderson tells me that sometimes when we go through difficulties, we may be stronger. But I also think it tells me that when we go through difficulties, when the trees of our lives sway or when we find ourselves under pressure, we usually understand what is truly important, what really matters. Then Jesus said, I am the bread of life. Reminded of the story of the old Cherokee, or should I say the elder Cherokee. He was sitting beside his grandson, and they were fishing in a small pond. The grandfather said, grandson, within us there are two wolves. Two wolves. These two wolves are at war with one another. One is a bad wolf. Anger, hate, prejudice, lack of trust, lack of integrity. The other is a good wolf. Goodness, patience, kindness, courage, love, and hope. These two wolves are at war with each other always. The grandson looked at his grandfather, the elder Cherokee, and said, Grandfather, if these two wolves are at war with one another, which one wins? The grandfather said, the one you feed, the one you feed. Then Jesus said, I am the bread of life. We kind of wonder, what is really important in life? What really and truly matters? I'd like to suggest three things. And a couple of them were mentioned in Paul's epistle this morning. The first two are found in a short poem by Adam Lindsay Gordon. This is what he scripted. Most of life is froth and bubbles. Two things stand like stone. Kindness in another's troubles, courage in your own. Then Jesus said, I am the bread of life. May we feed on kindness and feed the good wolf within us. Kindness changes everything. In any relationship, in a family, a community, in a neighborhood, with relatives, in a marriage, with children, with parents, with elderly citizens, at a grocery store, on the Edens Expressway, in an elevator. Kindness changes everything. I remember working at the Chancery office when I first began in 1980. The priest then, who was my mentor, Father Keating, said, Ken, there are three things that are important here at the Chancery. I sort of sat on my chair and wondered what three things could possibly be so important to the chancellor. He said, kindness, kindness, kindness. The Jewish people have an expression called a mitzvah. Now, I'm sure you've heard of a bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah. Well, a mitzvah is a kindness done for someone when few others know about it. Kindness changes everything. Then Jesus said, I am the bread of life. The second thing mentioned by Adam Lindsay Gordon was courage. Now sometimes, and I see a few children here, not many, they may think, and we may think of courage from the Wizard of Oz, the lion who wanted to be ferocious, fearless. Courage is more than being ferocious. Courage is doing the right thing. Courage is standing up for someone when someone is defaming that person. Courage is something we need in this country so that people will tell the truth. Courage. Courage. It also takes courage to be reconciled with others. I saw a plaque that I think was extremely important. It said, one who apologizes is the bravest. One who forgives is the strongest. But one who forgets is the happiest. Courage to apologize, to forgive, but most of all, to forget. Then Jesus said, I am the bread of life. And what else is important as the life sways? What else is important as we find ourselves under pressure? As we have these 17 months of pandemic? As we have during the economic strife that's occurred in our nation and around the world? As racial tensions have become very apparent, and as divisions are all over. What is important? Then Jesus said, I am the bread of life. We are here today because of the bread of life. Then Jesus took bread and gave it to his disciples and said, take this and eat of it. Do this in memory of me. Faith. Faith in a God who does not leave us alone. Oh, at times we wonder whether we're calling an empty lot. Faith. I mention faith because faith sustains us through very difficult moments. Hopefully, as it has through these last 17 months. It sustains us through moments of failure, or times when we face a relationship that's ended, or perhaps a moment that we really don't want to remember. Faith helps and puts perspective on success, the good things we've done, the times that we remember as gracious and wonderful. Faith. And I mention faith because where there's faith, there's love. Where there's love, there's peace. And where there's peace, we usually find God. Then Jesus said, I am the bread of life. Perhaps truth in advertising tells us what Jesus said. Whoever eats of this bread will live forever. Please join me at this moment, at this hour, at this special time to share Wonder Bread. Wonder Bread.
Thank you for joining us for the celebration of the Mass today. It's a blessing that you are with us. Every broadcast of this liturgy goes out to hundreds of people and hundreds of people all over the world. It's been an enormous blessing. If you'd like to support this virtual ministry of OLPH, please go to our website. you can support this ministry by going to Give Central so that we can continue to broadcast the liturgy each and every week. Thank you for your support. Most of all, thank you for joining us today. God bless you. Greetings from OLPH.